Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Alliance Forever. Today I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Neuroxis map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the north, ending with Team 2 in the south. Starting off with Team 1's northeasternmost player in Chevy Crimson, it is Melon Pippin Collie going first lane as a UEF. He is a 1200. In Lattice Red Pink here to his west, we have Sigler Runner going first lane as an Aeon. He is a 1500. In Royal Blue to his northwest, we have the UEF commander of Dimitri 11 going first line as a 2000 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 1, and tied for the highest rated player overall. To his west, in orange to color orange, we have Touch My Birds going first line as a Seraphim. He is a 1600. And the other orange player here in the west in Rust is Red Visimosis going first there as a UEF. He is a 1700. And rounding out the roster here for Team 1 in Forest Green, the best color in all of Supreme Commanderdom, it is Mega Mion going first line as a Seraphim as an 1800. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 3 UEF, 2 Seraphim, and 1 Aeon, which means Team 1 lacks Cyber and Technology. Starting up with Team 2 southwestern corner in Ruby Red, we have Mr. Zamaktik going first lane as a Cyber, and he is a 1300. In Light Oak Tan to his east, we have Zoom going first lane as a UEF. He is a 1500. In Imperial Grey, we have Yoji going first lane as an Aeon. He is a 2000 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 2, and tied with Dimitri 11 for the highest rated player overall. To his east, we have in Amethyst Purple Zum going first lane as an Aeon. He is a 1500. In Batman Grey to the east, we have Hollow Submarine going first lane as a Cybrin, and he looks... That's just me. He looks fat. No, I think that's a normal model again. He is a 1700 in Batman Grey. He is a Cybrin. And last but not least for Team 2, in Barbie Pink, we have Psycho Ad going first land, second air most likely as an Aeon, as an 1800 already on the move. It confused me a little bit because when I zoomed into Hollow Submarine, looks like he looked a little bit fat from the April Fool's update. Update, air quotes. That's what it looked like, but it's not April Fool's anymore, so that's not the case, but it just looks weird for some reason. But anyway, for Team 2 side of the map, they have 2 Cyberns, 3 Aeon, and 1 UEF. Team 2, therefore, lacks Seraphim technology. Team 1, of course, lacks Cybrin technology. And for 12 players on the map, how much reclaim do we have for them to scoop up? They have 21,000 reclaim, which means it's just a little bit short of 2,000 mass per player. About, I'd say, 1,700 roughly with my math in my head. And most of it in the middle of the map and only in essentially 6 locations. We have this position over here, and then essentially it's just 2 columns in the middle of the map. So lots of players going to go for that immediately. And also for Team 2 side of the map specifically, we're looking at the mass point layouts. We have 1, 2, 3 quad mechs positions with a 5-star mechs here in the east. We also have... that's pretty much it. The map's kind of interesting because it's cut at a diagonal down the middle, so it's not exactly horizontal or vertical. That's really about it. I mean, there is a decent amount of mexes over here, kind of one-offs and whatnot, and obviously mexes over here. But there's not really a lot of mexes for everyone, so it's going to be that reclaim that's going to be focused for a lot of these players. And we already see on Team 2 specifically 3 players already close to the middle line of the map. Team 1 doesn't have anybody nearby, which will give Team 2 a huge advantage. And all of the comms, speaking of which, on Team 2 have left their main bases. Team 1 still has players on the edges, that being Melon and Red. So it's going to be essentially a 4v6 in the middle if everyone does head in that direction, which they're starting to. But it's going to take a little bit, obviously, for everybody to get there. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and zoom in on the action here in the middle of the map. We have a couple of scouts on the western side here for Team 1's Mega Mion. They are those Selens. I'm going to be running around trying to deny early expansions in that western side of the map. Team 2... not really, again, a lot of emphasis on the eastern edge. Again, the reclaim is the main focus so far, so we will see if that plays well to them or not. And we do see the comm of Psycho Ed getting to that reclaim field. There is a couple of engineers outbound from his opponent in lightish red pink from Signal Runner. But again, there are lots of efforts. Now from Team 1, we see some transports outbound going for the reclaim. Megamune already on top of it. And it looks like he's going to go south. But again, even if those engineers land, comms nearby and other units going to be popping up here shortly for Team 2 will deny that drop of engineers. Shots outbound from a nice little spirit outbound to Psycho Ad's comm. Psycho Ad doesn't even care. The regen is more than enough to deal with any sort of nasty little land scout that's running around in the western side of the map. We do see a nice striker going after those Selens. Kind of getting bodied by those Selens. Almost about to die, but looks like he's trying to dodge the best he can, and he did do a great job of that. Had he sat still, he probably would have died, but for now he is doing fine. Looks like Team 2 Zoom going to move westward and avoid the comm of Megamune over here. All of that reclaim that we saw in the beginning of the match almost scooped up. We see Team 1 essentially skipping the first set of reclaim, going for the middle, trying to deny Team 2. We see 3 comms for Team 2 over here, out essentially not just body blocking, but essentially saying, hey, this is our mask, go away. And it's not going to go good here for Signal Runner unless he can get in the water, which he's going for immediately. Again, 3 comms versus 1. Doesn't even matter if that comm has a gun on board. That comm is going to die. He might take another player with him, but it's not going to be a good outcome for Signal Runner if he engages, even with that gun upgrade. We do see movements outbound here from 2 of these comms from Team 2. They're going to continue to pressure Signal Runner's forces right here, and it's going to be a huge fought battle trying to get the rest of the reclaim here. Team 1 scooping it up as we speak, but by the time these comms do come into range of the reclaim, it will mostly be scooped up. T1 Factory is going to be the target. Overcharge kills off a Mechs and a nice little Aurora that came online. Signal Runner back out of the water, going to attack the behinds of both Psycho Ad and Hollow Submarine. Psycho Ad going to focus on Signal Runner's commander while Hollow Submarine continues to go after those forces. But then switch targets onto Signal Runner. Team 1 might lose a player very, very early here at 5.5 minutes. And all forces inbound from the east from Psycho Ad coming in to assist with the kill on Signal Runner. Team 1's not really looking good here in the middle of the map so far. And it looks like there might be a nice pincer maneuver happening in the west here for Zoom, or against Zoom by Team 1. And still Signal Runner makes it into the water once again, but his reclaim field has been overrun by Psycho Ad and Hollow Submarine. Dimitri pops out of the little tiny pond right here, will force Psycho Ad back. Looks like he might pop into the water. And now Signal Runner back out of the water once again. It's just calm action going on here in the early stages of the game. These players, I mean, we're talking about players from 1200 all the way to 2000 rating. They know how to play the game, and I've seen a lot of them play with one another, so definitely most likely on comms, I would assume. Not really a lot of conversations in chat so far. Dimitri, go air, please. But that's pretty much about it. So it's looking like it's going to be lots of bombers outbound from Team 1 to try to force Team 2's comms back. Again, the downside with pushing so far forward is the fact that it's a so far backward walk. So the longer this goes on, Team 2's comms of both Psycho Ad and Hollow Submarine are not going to feel good. Gun coming online here for Touch My Berries, trying to isolate any approaching forces outbound from Team 2 to relieve both Hollow and Psycho Ad. Psycho Ad going for some T1AA to try to take care of those bombers running around. It looks like there's going to be a little bit of pressure on board Zum's commander now, and even those bombers to the east going after the expansionary efforts of Psycho Ad himself. Team 1 pressuring the comms of both Mr. Zamatic and Zoom. Zoom in the water now. He's going to be protected. He's in the yellow, and then now it's a 2v1 scenario in favor of Team 1. Only when you go one way. Megamune focusing on the reclaim first and trying to, again, get both comms in the water right here. So on Team 2, we have one of the comms just left, but we have 2 comms over here in the water. We have a comm in the water, another comm in the water, another comm in the water. So 5 of the 6 comms, or at least they were in water at the same time. The only one not getting his feet wet, at least right now, which was Yoji, but he probably just walked across that little pond over there. Red back under the water once again, trying to hide from the 2 commanders. Pops his head back out, to shoot at Mr. Zamatic, and we do see Mega Mion falling back for a T2 upgrade. They're going to be very defensive here. There's no mountains anywhere to hide besides the water. It's going to be a huge focus here for both of the teams, try to get their comms in the water to hide, cool down, repair, and then move on. But it looks like Team 2's comms are going to be able to get out of there for the time being. Until Torp Bombers come online, they'll be safe in the water for the time being. The water on the edges of the map aren't going to be a concern unless maybe a player on Team 2 goes on the eastern side or Team 1 goes on the western side to the corner players, but I don't really see that being a huge emphasis. There's so much land to cover in the middle of the map, and with 12 players on the map, it is just combat back and forth. So I don't think Navy's really going to play a role. Maybe for some AA for the coverage of the water, but even then, that's a lot of investment just for essentially mobile AA. They could easily just go for T3 air or even T2 air just on the surface of the water. Team 2 is Hollow Submarine being forced back by Aurora. He'll be fine for the time being. He does have almost 1 veterancy, so he'll be able to wrap up a little bit faster pretty soon. And there are some reinforcements from Psychorad to assist with that. We do see Dimitri sitting, waiting for his opponents of Zum and Psychorad to pop out of the water, but Psychorad's retreating. And now Touch My Berries forcing back Team 2's Zum's frontline position here. Lots of action very, very quickly here, trying to gain the middle of the map. There's not really a lot of mexes in the middle except for a couple of one-offs. A lot of the mexes do reside on the east and western sides of the map, which obviously both teams will be going after. But of course there is a nice quad mex position here for, it looks like Team 1's Mega Mion to grab. Team 2 trying to hold on to it, but no, they probably might. There are some T2 units outbound and T2 comm nearby for Yoji, so that position probably will be fine for the time being. We see Zum trying to attack those units outbound from Signal Runner, but we see Zum now encountering the gun comm of Touch My Berries. That will only... there is a gun comm here for Zum. He doesn't have the advanced range. He does have the regular range. So it's again kind of 1-to-1 here. Touch My Berries does have 1-star veterancy. Zum almost at that same thing. So in terms of damage, in terms of hit points, it does barely favor Team 1 Touch My Berries. But just barely. Once that 1-star veterancy comes into play, that's going to be it. Touch My Berries. And Zum just having some words here. Again, Zum wanting to focus on those units to get that veterancy online. 25 mass killed before he gets that 1-star clip to his chest plate. I think it's chest plate. Yeah, chest plate. Gun range started here for Psychoad. He has the speed online. Has a lot of T2 blazes online as well. Trying to force back the spam outbound from Team 1's Melon. We do, of course, see the sensor package started here for Signal Runner. He has the advanced range. They're going for the more of the utilitarian commander in the sense that he's not doing super amounts of damage, but advanced range and sensor package for a nice vision definitely will aid his team in intel gathering operations on the front line. T2PD lining the western side for both of the teams. We do see some missile launchers outbound here from Team 1, which will only favor Team 1. Team 2 doesn't have any zappers, which means that's not going to really go anywhere. And that will give the advantage here for Mega Mion for the time being. No counter missile launchers online yet, and no TMD further back, so it's only going to force back Team 2 at the minimum. But there is a TMD over here, but one of them is not going to be enough against a squad of missile launcher, or at least mobile ones. We do see Melon going after Reclaim once again, being shot at by some blazes, but he does have gun and 1-star veterancy, so he's sitting pretty fine with some hit points on board. He does get shot at by some Spectres, though. They'll be able to hide in the water over here. And this is, I think, the one benefit of this map generator is the fact that when you get so many different maps, so many different variants with so many, different configurations and all that. But this map specifically favors commanders ever so slightly, because you can see comms just going to dive into the water, hide there for a little bit. Melon dropping into the red, but will get underneath the surface of the water just barely. Again, if it wasn't for that little water that he would have died. Nano Repair immediately started here for him. Signal Runner going to follow suit, getting into the water. But I think he's going to fall below 0 hit points and die here. There he goes. Team 1 suffers the first loss of the game at almost 13 minutes, 12.5 minutes on the clock. Killed off by Yoji's gunships. Almost got a double kill there. But even if Team 2 did grab the kill on Melon, then the gunships would have died from the explosion from the comms, so it would have only been a single kill. But still, Strat Bomber over the top here for Dimitri. Going first, Bomber, very interestingly. Team 2 has T3 Air online. Obviously, Team 1 also has T3 Air online in form of 2 players. Team 2 has only 1 for the time being, but will have 2 pretty shortly. Bomber over the top, targeted by those Swift Winds outbound from Yoji. Master is being shot down as we speak. ASF's soon to be in range, I would assume. There they are. Strat Bomber does not get the bomb off, unfortunately, and it will land, and not killing off enough mass to make it worth it. Those Swift Winds are just enough to compete with, with the Bombers at least. Had Team 1 had more ASFs online, it would have been better engagement for sure, but this wasn't enough, quick enough. Unfortunately, he went for the aggressive play. It didn't work, but I do applaud on the fact that those plays normally don't work, so trying for it and getting a little bit of work done is better than nothing, especially going after Yoji on the front line, trying to, again, deny this fire base that is being established here by both Yoji and Zum. I know at some point I'm going to confuse Zum with Zoom. They are, one's Aeon, one's UEF, so I know that's going to happen at some point, so I do apologize ahead of time. I just know it. Team 2 is Psycho Ad pumping out some T1 torp launchers to deal with the comm of Melon. And Melon will get the nano. And the question is, will he get it online soon enough? He does have a Mongoose online, so that will deny the torp launcher. And there are no T2 torp bombers nearby, at least at the current moment, so he'll be fine. Looks like he's trying to be ground fired. Not happening. He's getting nano repaired right now, so that's in his favor. 56 hit point, a second regen. And now Hollow Submarine coming in to assist. Melon going to try to get out of dodge. Needs to make sure there's no gunships overhead or he will be annihilated. We do see, of course, some reinforcements here for him to protect him. He does have a nice little skyboxer. Well, sorry, he had a nice skyboxer online. And Psycho Ad does have the regular range, but Hollow Submarine's in range as well. This might be another kill here on Team 1. 3,000 hit points. He is regenning at 56 versus Hollow Submarine's 30. Mongoose coming into range. Obviously doesn't need to sit that close and will die very quickly here to that comm. Will be essentially a full 3-star veterancy comment pretty shortly. Melon makes it to the next cold spot here, and then once he gets into the ocean or the main water in the northeastern corner, that's fine. But either a hover move or a drop outbound here from Psycho Ad going after this base here for Melon. Not really going super well. Only 1 mech's killed off, but it's getting into the rear of multiple bases here for Team 1. Dimitri, of course, has that dual base gifted, air quotes, over from Signal Runner. But Team 2 being forcing their way forward quite heavily. Melon just control Ks anyways. Drops below 1,000 hit points. And, I mean, there are some torp bombers, and maybe he could have gotten away. But, doesn't look like it was going to be the case. Hollow Submarine does take a little bit of the AoE explosion. It is now a 4v6 in favor of Team 2, the southern team. Unfortunately for Team 2, they are facing some deterrence in the west here by Team 1's Forest Ring player, Frost Ring, of Mega Mion. Mega Mion might get the first kill here for his team, dropping Zoom below 3,000 hit points, 2,000 hit points, 1,000 hit points. That is it. Team 1 scores a counter kill here at 16 minutes. It's now a 4v5, still in favor of Team 2, but Team 2 is not going to go flawless victory today. I mean, and again, at 6v6, 12 players, the chance that everyone on your team survives for a flawless victory is rare, just because there's so many things that happen, and especially as more players on the other team die, one player gets more and more mass, and eventually someone's going to get sniped. It's unlikely that everyone makes it. I mean, it is possible, unlikely, unfortunate. For somebody, at least on Team 2, for that flawless victory. But we do see those Ilshis coming in, just cleaning the front lines here. We do see some reinforcements outbound from Zum. I can safely say Zum without being confused with Zoom, because Zoom is now dead. Apologies to Zoom, but that's just how it goes. I can just say Zum without having to worry about it. I accidentally say Zoom, but I might even just say Zoom anyways. So who knows? We still got a decent amount of game ahead of us, so we got all the time till the game ends to see if I still say Zoom for Zum, even if Zoom has already died. Oh, that'd be a funny thing would be if Zum is the next one killed, then I don't have to worry about neither of them in terms of confusing them, because they'd both be dead. But we have some fire lines establishing here for Team 1's Dimitri trying to hold the line. Psychoad's been very, very aggressive on this eastern side, assisted from his teammate of Hollow Submarine to just force Team 1 back constantly. The snipe from Yoji definitely opened the floodgates a little bit, and now the death of Melon really just says, okay, everybody come in. I'm having a flash sale on all my stuff. We do see some gunships, some stingers. Not great. Definitely not as good as Spectres, but better than nothing. There are some AA nearby, which are being targeted now, which is really, really good to, again, shoot the stuff that is shooting at you and then shoot at everything else. And all the AA has been killed off, leaving those gunships fully protected and no issue of nonsense outbound from that land army. That will eventually die. T2 Mechs will go down. I think they might get this one. Some of them might make it below the surface of the water, speaking about the Harbingers specifically, but the Blazes obviously will hover, so that is definitely a thing. That is the one benefit of Wagner's from the Cybern faction, is that their floating units actually just go to the bottom of the ocean, so it's one of those, hover tech's nice, but if you're worried about being attacked from above, only torp bombers will be able to attack you. Unless the wall is shallow enough, then you can ground fire, but that's a use case kind of scenario. But Yoji holding off the forces from Mega Mion on this western side. This is the bright spot here for Team 1 on this western side, pushing both the Midwest and the western side. Sniperbot also online. I'm going to start kind of sniping and snipping at Team 2's doorstep. Team 2 Psycho Ed in the northeastern water. T1 naval facilities being spammed up. Looks like it might be either T2 cruiser spam or something. Team 1 doesn't have Cybern, so they can't go for Salem's. Team 2 does. But I don't really see Team 2 doing that anytime soon, at least at the current moment. The only player that could do it, of course, is Mr. Zematic. He is Cybern, so really easy to get a Cybern facility online. But Team 1's Touch My Berries forcing his way forward once again. He's at 18,000 hit points. He has Nano and Regen on board, so can be able to have his units survive a lot longer. And you can see the Regen, 50 hit points of his second Regen, really just keeping them alive as long as he can. And this force outbound from Zum is not enough. Team 2 needs some more air online to deal with this. And again, we have 2 players in the air game so far for Team 2. Team 1 still has only 2, but of course, 1 player on Team 1 does have 3 bases. So is it really just 1 or 2 players, or is it really 3? Or even 4, but I'd say 3. T2 air online for the UEF in the east. So he also, I mean, he has UEF and UEF, so there's not really issue with getting a different facility online, except for the Cyclone Runner base that he took over, which is Aeon. So he could go for the best, in my opinion, combination of gunships, which is Restorers and Broadswords. So for the high AA damage and for the high air-to-ground damage would be devastating. Again, Touch My Berries is in the water, hanging out and having a nice, cool little dip. Not really worrying about a whole lot. And able to regen all units nearby, including those of his teammates. And Zum does have the shield. He doesn't have advanced range, but he has the first shield, so 8,000 hit points instead of, I think it's 25? 22 or 25? I think it's 25. Somebody on Team 2 is going to build the Aeon shield, and I'm going to remember. Psychoad might be the one to do. Nope, he doesn't have any shield. Never mind. He has a personal shield, or a hover shield. So I'm going to hide himself underneath the surface of the water. Those Oshis come in by force. These should be gifted over here to Touch My Berries from Mega Mion, so you can micro those a lot better. Just my little 2 cents there, so that way you can, of course, use them more effectively. While Mega Mion focuses on, I don't know, maybe ecoing is maybe what he's focusing on. That and just base defense and whatnot. There is a Monkeyloid spotted here by Team 1, sub 20 minutes. That had to have been built, or was built over here and walked over there, but still Team 2 has an experimental online in the west. Luckily, it's probably the best place for it, because there is stuff there, but it's not really that much of a threat in terms of, you know, high critical systems over here in the east, or maybe just straight down the middle where it's a little bit weaker. In the west, there is a decent fire line established. Unfortunately, not soon enough. There is the Omni that Team 1 is going to lose. They do they can have a backup pretty quickly, but Sniper Bot's leaving Probably not the best idea being attacked by blazes, going after the Harbingers first. The Monkey Lord is going to be deep in Team 1's territory. They're not going to be able to escape anytime soon. ASF gearing up for an attack here from Team 2 and Team 1, just trying to protect that Monkey Lord. Team 1 also shifting, or Dimitri shifting over his ASF a little bit in that direction. Team 2's ASF only being, well, nope, they're over here by Hollow Submarine as well. So the light gray and the dark gray versus the blue and the rust. So going to be a nice, interesting mix of ASF. Gunship online here for red. Going after that Monkey Lord. It's going to take a while for the AA on board the Monkey Lord to chew through those gunships. The ASF are called forward. Are the ones from Dimitri going to be called on as well? No, they're not. It's going to hugely favor Team 2. This could be the first major air victory here for Team 2, which they will get, and decimate the forces from Team 1. And Team 2 is now outed by Team 1. Stick no wonder one of the players been beyond the grave, letting his teammates know that it is 2 air fight or air locking occurring here for Team 1. Not going good here for them. Gunships killed off on the ground. Never a good thing. You'd rather have them killed while they're in the air attacking something. But the Monkey Lord getting huge value. I was kind of surprised that it is getting as much value as it is, but it's because of the air coverage from Team 2, so I was wrong on that. Definitely the better side to send it in versus the eastern side. At this point, I guess there's been a lot of fighting back and forth, so that would actually make a little more sense. Go for a little bit of the weaker side. That monkey is not stopping. Tons of value going to be grabbed from this Monkey Lord here. He is in the yellow, so he's not completely fine, but he's also not dead. So that's better than nothing. And you know, at 1% HP, you can do 100% of the damage. And T3 Pigeon's going offline here for Mega Mion. His eco is going to be not great after this encounter. T3 Ravagers being very, very quick and being established here by the rest player of red. And Chicken was coming online here for Mega Mion. Mega Mion's going to get out of dodge. Monkey going to shift his focus onto those engineers. I think that was a misplay. Those are T2 air cleaners. Those are not triads. I think that I had to have been a misplay. I don't know what AA would have done. But reclaiming going on the way here for these engineers, trying to deal some damage. But the air grid going down here for Team 1's Western air player of red. This is very huge here for Team 2, taking out essentially not neutering, but really kneecapping 2 players at the same time. Mega Mion being chased down. He does. I guess he probably has overcharge somewhere with some power storages. But he is going to be chased down. Laser is on board. Will he be killed off here? And it will be a snipe. The Monkey Lord dies at the last second. Team 1 loses a decent amount of Mega Mion's base, most of the air grid here for red, and they lose Mega Mion's commander, making this game a 3v5 at 24 minutes. Well, overall for the game, Team 1 sitting at 3 players left, that being Touch My Berries Red and Dimitri. Team 2 has everybody except Zoom alive. Team 1 sitting at 1.1k mass income. Team 2 1.6k, 1.5, 1.6 depending on reclaim and all of that. It's not looking good for Team 1 so far in terms of players left alive. Let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. And if you haven't done so already, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. And again, shout out to every single one of you for watching to this point in the video. I really do appreciate all the time and attention you give to my videos. It really does mean a lot. We do see a experimental online in the east here for Team 1's Dimitri. And again, as time goes on, Dimitri's going to get very, very scary. Even though Team 1 is down in the mass generation, Dimitri's at 700 mass income, comparatively with Yoji at not even 500. So we might see early nuke, we could see early artillery, early game ender, early anything at this point. Just due to the fact he has so much mass available to him, but he's also fighting a decent land army engagement here from Team 2 Psychoad. Tons of land here for both Yoji and who is that? That's Zum. And I mean that play outbound from Mr. Zamaktik. If Team 2 wins, I think a most underrated player goes to Tick just due to that one monkey that, again, essentially kneecapped 2 bases. Well, almost essentially took a base out and kneecapped the second base and then killed the comm. Air grid expansion, possibly? What the heck is going on? Overlapping templates there. We do see a chicken online here for Team 1's orange the orange player of Touch My Berries, trying to force back Team 2. There are a decent amount of Percy's online. He does have some shield coverage, so they'll block some of the shots. But it's not going to be perfect here. Going after the Percy's first, definitely the best target to go after. That's going to do the most damage. There are some Titans in the mix. They're going to go after the Ilshis. The Ilshis should go after the Titans just to reduce the fire rate on board those Titans, just to kind of take those out. I think there's enough Percy's here. Yeah, I think there's enough Percy's here. I feel like if the chicken had probably 3-star veterancy, it would be enough, but even Team 1's Touch My Berries knows it's not going to go well. But he is going to lose that fight, just to show that you don't really need that many T3 units to take out an experimental. Just depends on what kind of support army you have as well, or support Air Force, depending on your arrangement of units. But Team 1's Dimitri mimicking what Mr. Zematic has just done to the western side of Team 1, going straight south, going after everything down here. Colossus about to be built here by Team 2 Psychoad. If that comes online, this push is not going to be as effective. He's about to stand up. Pings do go down. I think either Team 1 notices it or, yep, Team 1 notices it, so they're going to go after it immediately. Engineers are the prime target. No sense going after the Colossus at this point. T3 Harbingers trying to chew through those facilities. They're body blocking the Engineers. Engineers are able to finish off the Colossus hit for Psychoad. Huge emphasis here from the Corsairs going after said Colossus from Team 1. Lots of AA behind them, going to rip through all of those Corsairs as well, but more and more coming online as we speak. Second Colossus also online here for Zum, so really going to just curtail any sort of advancement that Dimitri is going to get from this. T2 shield gens trying to be established. The Colossus does die, but the big thing here for Team 2 is the fact that the Colossus did not get to the air grid. That's pretty well expanded, to be fair. And Monkey Lord half completed here for Team 2's Hollow Submarine as well. So still defensive measures have been engaged, but the Harbingers are able to get some damage on some T3 Mechs and some P-Gens. I think the main goal is going after the air grid. That's definitely the goal. You can't, I mean, you're going after the P-Gens would be nice. You're essentially knocking out Psychoad from any sort of essentially assist in the game. T3 land headquarters, that's going to hurt. Take that out. And then the P-Gens, you got to take out the air grid at least to some degree here and essentially mimic what happened in the west. Ooh, the SMD might be a good target if you're going after nukes. Take that out almost immediately, but they're targeting the P-Gens. Very nice. Engineers already reclaiming to prevent any sort of cascade. Love that micro outbound here for Hollow Submarine. Tons of P-Gens going down, but the big thing is the reclaim. Oh, does get a nice cascade. Does kill off some own Harbingers, though, but they'll take the damage. And most of that air grid does go up in smoke. The Monkey Lord comes online, takes out one of the Harbingers. They're trying to get that last P-Gen. T3 air headquarters is perfectly fine, though. That one almost died. That would have been not necessarily annoying, but most of the air grid is down. So they are still able to get some damage, mimicking what happened earlier in the west. So Team 1, again, still aren't leading the air. So they needed that break from any sort of air production for the time being, at least from the eastern side. Western side, it is actually the middle here for Yoji. Another chicken up the front line here for Team 1. Not really going to get anywhere, though. Tons of Harbingers. Actually, yeah, tons of Harbingers with no shields. Looks like Zum has some power issues, possibly. He's building some more power generators back there. Oh, he's going for mass fabs. That's probably why. We have Restorers online here for Team 2's Yoji going after the Colossus first. Probably should go after the chicken. To be fair, it's the weaker of the two experimentals. ASF fight over the top of said Colossus, and Team 2's ASF have been gifted all over to Yoji. They were handed over from Hollow Submarine, and the air fight will still reside with Team 2 not gaining, but retaining control at 30 minutes. The remaining ASF save for the rest player of Red going, no, we're good. Tons of AA being built in the water to the west to prevent any incursion, and actually no, there's some T1 Zuri running around going after all of the T3 AA. Very annoying. Would only take a gunship or two to deal with that very quickly. Two chickens online here for Team 1 with that Colossus returning to face it. Colossus grabbing that Harbinger from miles away. And the second chicken is dead. The third chicken will die as well. Looks like the chicken just stomping on top of the remains of that Harbinger. We do see some lightning from these lightning tanks. I don't really know how to pronounce their actual name. Colossus v Colossus with Chicken support. Chicken will die to one thing or the other. Second Colossus coming in range. The firepower going down on that second Colossus. Standing on top of a T3 land hit facility. Now, the best place to stand. But the Colossus just firing at one another. Team 2 will lose this fight with a third and fourth Colossus coming online. Team 2 needs to put a lot of emphasis on either land defenses or tons of air, because having multiple Colossi online on the front line means lots of lasers. Lots of lasers equals not good stuff. Harbingers coming in to support as well. They have the engineering facilities as well to reclaim. That Monkey Lord, not a good idea. Probably should send that back. With 2 more Colossus adding themselves to that lineup, Monkey Lord goes, no, I'm good. And Psychoad goes, not helping. See you, bye. This is going to be huge. If this can get to the air grid of Team 2's Yoji, the air fight, or the air war, essentially, might start to favor Team 1. It's going to take a while for Team 1 to get to the amount of ASF that Team 2 have, but they will have a fighting chance at a minimum. 4 Colossi inbound. This is not going to go good here for Team 2's Yoji. He needs to get anything and everything online. That Monkey's going to be able to provide a couple of torpedoes, but not a lot. Engineers being massacred by the 1s and the 10s. That air grid is the... Actually... No, air grid's not the target. The Colossus too tall to be able to stand underneath the surface of the water. They need to just walk across. Corsairs coming in here from Team 2's Hollow Submarine from the east. This Colossus severely weakened. It might die before it makes it to the water. But again, there's 3 more of its brothers coming in to assist. That is the main thing, of course. And Colossus being able to be able to fire. Oh, I'm pushing the wrong button. Excuse me. Trying to take a nice little screenshot of what's going on. Colossus going to start deactivating their lasers because they can't actually fire. That one somehow still firing. But this one is perfect. But the laser just targeting that Colossus immediately. It's a little bit too close, though. Needs to back up. Colossus dead. But again, the main goal is the air grid, and they will get it. It is not looking good here for Yoji. Second Colossus is almost down. That Monkey going to pay dividends, though, able to take out essentially a second Colossus before it does significant damage. Monkey survives a couple more seconds. More restorers online, but they don't have good air-to-ground weaponry, and those P-gens are going to go up and smoke. Colossus need to just walk. Psychoad coming in with his comm. He has the heavy shield. It is 25,000, by the way. And he doesn't have the advanced range, so not going to be able to really do a whole lot, but some. Colossus actually redirect west because there's a Fat Boy that they can kill off. That's never going to feel good. T3 air headquarters needs to be targeted immediately there, Dimitri. Oh, not going to go after it. Going after the Mechs for Yoji. Team 2 losing a lot of eco now. There it goes. Just the cascade of all of those T2 or T1? They are T2 mass fabs. Oh, Colossus killing a ton of T3 mixes. Oh, the T3 air headquarters. No! Could have killed that off. Just had to be annoying. It could have been annoying, but land facility almost is destroyed, and the mechs almost destroyed as well. The Colossus does not kill the Fat Boy, though. Very luckily here for Yoji, but still look at the carnage here for Team 2. They got 2 holes carved into them, one in the east and one in the middle. 263,000 mass on the field. Enough mass to produce legitimately anything on the map. While we were focusing on the middle, attack in the west outbound from a crab being a little bit prevented by a Fat Boy, which actually will kill offset crab. There are some bricks assisting it, but not going to be very well. And of course, Team 1's Dimitri pumping out more Colossi to secure the reclaim. Engineers already on station to do so. And Psychoad and Hollow Submarine have stopped their attacks in the east. Large groups of Corsairs outbound here. 4 said Colossus in the middle. That Corsair fleet, not going to do great value here. Sitting at, of course, 100,000 hit points, now sitting at 60,000 essentially. Clean Colossus versus clean Colossus. Well, clean Colossus being no no veterancy and no shields and no nothing. It's just Colossus v Colossus. Obviously going to favor Team 2. Second Colossus going to try to help, but that's not going to really work out here for Team 1. Dimitri, are you planning anything else? I know I'm moving from the land fight, but I want to see if they're building essentially... Oh, no. No. So nothing coming online in Team 1 in terms of any game enders, artillery. Colossus is dead. ASF probably should not sit there, though. Not the best place to sit with the Colossus bearing down your neck. Probably not the best idea. Attacks in the west going to be stopped immediately. Nice little line of PD being built with some Percy's to assist in defensive measures as well. That could have been taken out, but it was not. Air grid has been rebuilt here by Team 2's Hollow Submarine. His is the only operational air grid so far. Multiple Colossus being spammed up here by Psychoat. He notices the danger of just a ton of experimentals coming online. And also they got to put that mass somewhere. They got to fuel it somehow. I feel like they could put it... Well, I mean, they could put it into a nuke, which is what Zima Tech still will not be able to pronounce his name correctly. Yeah, I want to say Yzma. I want to say a bunch of other stuff. But that nuke is going to load decently quick. There's some assistance, not a whole lot, but there's definitely a decent amount. I'd say probably next 5 minutes it'll load. Actually, probably next 4 minutes it'll load. But does Team 1 notice the threat? That's the main thing. Oh, they know about it. There's a second nuke also online here for Yoji. 2 nukes online. Also not loaded. It was recently built, so it'll take a couple minutes to get there. Team 1, you have SMD. It's going to load. And no SMD here for that Omni. No SMD for that radar. No SMD on the entire eastern edge of them. And no SMD anywhere here for Dimitri. That's... Oh, no. There's one right there. Never mind. But I think... Yeah, he does have a hole. Well, how far is this one over it? Is it going to be enough? There is, I think, a scenario in which you could probably cut it right down the middle, which maybe this... That's a little bit over to the left, so maybe not. But if that nuke was right here, I could straight shot to that air grid. But it's just, I think, barely a little bit over to the west. T3 Naval Headquarters online here for Mr. Z Matic. He does have a Harms, and he has a nice little Plan B online. So mobile nuke it in terms of some sub-nukes. So definitely going to be a nice advantage for Team 2 in the western half of the map. And it's kind of slowed down a little bit, so I'm going to speed it up. Team 1 now producing more mass than Team 2, given everything that happened to Team 2 recently. But I think that number will catch up very, very quickly. Restorers online going after the AA, going to kill off most of that. Chicken's going after the crab that's being built. Fatboard coming in to assist, and a third chicken appearing here. And that's not going to go well. Probably should kill the power generator. Again, nice little AoE spread on all those engineers. Engineers about to finish it. It does come online, so probably should have targeted that pigeon, but it doesn't matter. The crab is immediately destroyed. So even if it was enough, hordes of Corsairs online going after that Fat Boy. That Fat Boy is DED. Sorry, Fat Boy. That is there's no safe territory for that. Tons of Corsairs. A lot of them will die. Targets were killed off. Both the chickens. Actually, I think all the chickens were killed off. Oh, will the Fat Boy that survived earlier, I think this is the same one, survive this encounter? No, it will not. And nice little hole has opened up for Team 2, but or for Team 1 to use, but it's not really going to do a whole lot. Ion Stone will activate, kill off a couple of Percys and Titans. So that's not really going to help Team 2's defensive line in any means. And another attacks in the middle. Colossus v Colossus v Colossus. Lots of dead Colossi in the middle. For both teams. Team 2 needs to get Reclaim, and Team 1 needs to get Reclaim operations on immediately. Of course, the Harbingers will help with that with their engineering suites, but there goes that Colossus. That one's dead. Another one going to come into range. It's just sitting here. We do see the engineering facilities over to the east for those spamming of said engineers. Another chicken online for red, escorting with some T3AA ASFs. T3 ASFs. And it looks like the Colossus does die. That Colossus comes into range. That Colossus will die. Another Colossus will come into range. That one will die. Team 2 really focusing on that Colossus production. I feel like Team 1 should switch gears and go for something else. Maybe there'll be an artillery piece here. Multiple Colossus. Multiple just sitting here. I think Dimitri's suffering a little bit from subcom, trying to micro all everything that he has to deal with. Just don't see anything else coming online for Team 1. had such an advantage with either air, a huge break in terms of dealing with land. They're just not using what they had to their advantage. 2 chickens coming into the front line here for Team 2's Mr. Zamek. Mr. Zametic. Still won't be able to pronounce his name. Chicken's just getting tickled right now. That's definitely a phrase I did not think I would say, but I said it. There it is. Tons of stingers here to the east going after some harbingers. And Nuke is outbound. Where is it going? It's outbound from Yoji, going for the western base over here of red. That SMD will cover it. Artillery has been started for red, so somebody's shifting into that artillery game. Just nukes here from Team 2. That one has also loaded. Satellite online here for Yoji, so he has a little bit of spreading out of UVF technology. But chickens making their way through some mixed base. Team 2 does not have adequate defenses on this western side. Not feeling good there. Tons of what's up with the sonar? What's up with this? What? I don't get it. I don't get it, but he has a reason for it, so I'm not going to judge his reasoning behind it. Chickens diverted both west and east. SMD is down. I mean, a huge concern, but Corsair's coming in, going to kill that chicken off, or at least kill most of its hit points. Well, the Perseus will definitely help kill it off, so that's, I think, there's lightning coming online for those lightning tanks, killing most of those Corsairs. Another nuke outbound, going after the same position. Another SMD was built. This one loading as fast as it can. I think it is going to land, unfortunately. The one over here is out of range. Oh, it might clip it just barely. But the chicken's down here. The comm was ignored. We saw it move. Where'd it go? Oh, it's over here now. Chicken going in for Yoji's base. Colossus trying to be built. The satellite is the main target. The nuke would also be the target. Oh, looks like the lightning tank's able to target the shield because of the drones. But that nuke is going to land. Kaboom! Takes out both of those SMDs as well. That's not going to feel good. Back to that build, another experimental. The satellite is down. The air grid, at least the secondary one for Yoji. Gotta target. The nuke is right. Yeah, okay, please ping the nuke. It's right there! It's right there! Shield is down. Oh, not great. There it goes. Lightning able to at least target a little bit. Lightning trying to stay out of range of the Ravagers. But Iron Storm will activate. The nuke will die to the Ion Storm, I feel like. I don't think that's a huge question. There it goes. It died to the lightning and the other lightning, so not really a huge issue. Most of the air grid, actually the entire air grid, besides a couple of T3 air over here and one Fusion, is dead. Yoji loses another air grid, so he's lost both his Aeon one and his UEF one. That's very annoying. The Cyber one still exists, though, so that's something. T3 artillery online, question mark? In the east here for Hollow Submarine, halfway done building a second one and building more shielding to cover it. Love to see that. Targeting Team 1's air grid over here. Shield grid coming online here pretty shortly. No artillery online. Oh, also the Duke was killed off as well. So 2 SMDs and a nuke killed off by the nuke launcher, I think from this one. But both the nukes, consequently here for Team 2, have been killed off. So nuclear threat isn't a huge issue now, but it can still be an issue, obviously. Given the fact there's a nuke back here in the southeastern corner of the map here for Hollow Submarine. So he's going to have a nuke ready. And in the eastern side, SMD online. This base will be killed off. That doesn't have any SMD coverage. And the air grid is starting to be destroyed. We have some, of course, T2 Starlifters trying to shield the everything here from the artillery fire. Haven't seen that trick in a while. Awasa Bomber coming online. Don't know why. Team 2. How many ASF? 150 with a couple of air scouts. Yoji. 17 bingo on fuel, so 19 plus an additional. It's not as much. Hollow Submarine, how many do you have? 24. So Team 1 definitely has air control a little bit, but not by much. We have some missile launchers on board of those Plan Bs. We have another one also online, so 2 nukes. One of them already loaded. Second one is two-thirds loaded. So we have nukes, nukes and more nukes, or had more nukes. Fat Boy going through the front lines. Nuke outbound here from Team 2's Plan B in the west here from Mr. Zamiktik, and going after the T3 Mechs over here. That's going to go down. That's not going to feel good. Team 1's Touch My Berries just constantly expanding with some T3 P-Gens and Mass Fabs. Air Grid is going down here for Dimitri. And he's building... Oh, excuse me. Team 1 is going for something. I'm completely blind. They're going for a YOLO. Does Team 2 know? That's Observer. Does Team... Yep, they know about it. So they should be targeting that immediately, not going after the Air Grid. 2 artillery pieces online. Third one coming online here shortly. That YOLO coming online is going to be deadly. This SMD, well, actually, this one might not be as important. It does cover it, but not by much. You could edge nuke it right here, but this one is the more important. That one has 2 loaded. Team 1 needs to devote all of their resources to guard this position. That YOLO could be the way that Team 1 comes back in this game. Again, it's been 3v5 in terms of comms alive for a while now. Dimitri, of course, holding the approach with some chickens and Colossus. Going to be moving into the east, though. Lots of Harbingers on the approach. Stingers waiting. Don't land there. They're going to be shot from the ground. Stingers are not really tough, given the fact that they were shot out of the sky. There they go. There is some AA, not a lot, but they'll target the AA immediately. Large group of Riptides over here for some strange reason. And those Stingers not really focusing on the whole lot. They need to target everything in here. Team 1 does not have defenses. The nuke, the SMD is down. Repeat, the SMD is down. This one does still protect it, but not by much. If Team 2 can edge nuke it, that's it. Team 2 might just do that as we speak. Oh, no. But the YOLO, consequently, is online and loading as we speak. More shields, more shields, more shields. And more PD. It's going to get edge nuke. There it is. The YOLO nuke will launch one of them and be destroyed. Got to launch it on something vital at this point. Outbound a nuke going after... I mean, the air grid would be more important. Going after the... They're going to nuke each other. Is that what's happening? Yup. That's exactly what's happening. No. It's going south. Excuse me. That was the target from the nuke over here. What is this going for? SMD has 3 loaded. Could have gone after the air grid, but no. There's another SMD here. Wasn't even loaded. SMD. That wasn't loaded. SMD wasn't loaded. Could have gone after the... Why is it here? Going after the Colossus, maybe? But they're not all going to die, though. The Colossus kind of get out of range a little bit. Oh, that was not the best YOLO nuke I've ever seen. Could have even gone after... Just open a hole down here to essentially just knock out Yoji entirely. But of course, as we say, kaboom! Gonna kill off the rest of those Harbingers. The base will be perfectly fine. Another nuke outbound. Where is it going? Where is it coming from? This one over here. SMD was built and is loaded. That will derail that one. And it's actually going to retreat. I do love this play here from Mr. Zamitic. He moves his sub in, fires, and then leaves. I do love that play. But our sub bomber getting some nice veterancy here. But air grid not shielded, had plenty of time to do so. That's not great for Dimitri. That's not going to feel good. Team 1 overall. I mean, they've been some bright spots. Tons of chickens online. Killed off the Colossus. More reinforcements outbound here from Dimitri. 45 minutes on the clock. That Colossus is going down. To be fair, that all the experimentals are dead, so there is that. But does Team 2 have enough left in the tank to deal with this? I don't know if they do. Maybe that was a smart play going after the Colossus? I don't know. I mean, especially if you get the mass. There are some Harbingers here. You can easily just reclaim everything, funnel some other projects. Team 1 sitting at 2k mass. Team 2 at 1.7. ASF moving in. Or actually, this is 5 points, excuse me. The nuke still online. Another one is loaded. I think the best thing for Team 2 is to fire a point defense nuke. Multiple just lines of PD being built to try to slow down the advancement of these experimentals. Our sub-bomber also running around. That's going to be annoying. The main target, of course, is going to be the artillery emplacement over here in the east. They're starting to fan out as well, getting a nice little coverage on the everything. course, as these experimentals move southward, they get veterancy, they get more HP, so they become deadlier and deadlier. And again, it looks like it's mainly T3 AA, excuse me. There are some T2 PD coming on, but it's mainly T3 AA. Nuke, point defense nuke is outbound. If these Colossus keep moving, they will be EMP'd, but they should be fine. Definitely don't sit your ASF there, Yoji. Probably not the best idea. Oh, they're going to stop. Oh, they need to keep going. Okay, there they go. I was going to say, if they stop, that's going to be perfect. But that chicken is getting close. That chicken will come off the artillery. Nuke is outbound. There it goes. It's going to land. Will it singe anybody? It does stop 2 experimentals in their tracks, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The chicken is coming in for that artillery. It's just going for broke. It's not going to matter. It can't be reclaimed. The Iron Storm cannot be reclaimed to be prevented. So if it stands there, reclaiming efforts immediately to just scoop up the rest of the mass. They know it's dead and gone. Colossus were detained for a little bit. Ion Storm activates for that chicken. There it goes. Colossus comes in to just assist the job. And that artillery piece is dead and gone. Team 1 doesn't have to worry about that for the time being. But we did have an attack in the west from some Colossus outbound from the OG. The entire western side of Team 1's everything is just not feeling good. Air grid is down. Not doing good. How's the air grid doing here for Team 2? Not doing good as well. Colossus needs to go after the P-gens, go after the air grid. There's not a lot of engineers nearby. More P-gens going down. More P-gens. More P-gens. All the air grid is done and dusted. At this point, don't focus that. Just take out the mass fabs right here. That's a ton of damage. Corsairs over top going to do a ton of damage. You might not make it to the nuke, but you're going to do some damage. Colossus at 4-star veterancy still has a way to go for 5. Can actually probably get to 5, to be fair, with everything he's going to kill off. Mass fab probably would be better for the damage. Wants to kill off the thing generating the most mass, though. 5-star veterancy on board that. Colossus killing off all the mass here for Hollow Submarine. Hollow Submarine dropping into the 200s and falling. Corsairs trying to stop him the best they can. Grabs a transport, because why not? Oh, kills off another T3 mechs. This is a lot of mass killed off here by Team 1. I mean, maybe it could have... No, I wouldn't have made it. I don't think it probably would have gotten close, but I don't think it would have made it. Another T3 mechs killed off. Tons of just damage here. ASF going to come in. This should have happened earlier, but Dimitri was probably focused on other things. That Colossus might have survived. Actually, might have survived. Oh. There's 2 Corsairs remaining. ASF does happen. Will they cinch the Corsairs yet? Oh, there's one more remaining. That Colossus is still online. T1 PD going to be built. That's not going to go anywhere, unfortunately. Spy plane's over here. That nuke is going to go down. This is not going good here for Team 2. That Colossus still online. More than 100,000 mass killed by that one Colossus. 500,000 mass on the map. Oh, 600. Okay, so still, that's a lot of mass. That is a lot of mass. We should recall long ago. Don't know why we keep wasting our time. I mean, there was a world in which Team 2 won this game. And so far, I mean, in terms of generation of mass, both teams staying relatively the same. And there's a ton of reclaim on... Oh, that's the wrong button. On Team 2 side of the map. There's a ton of... And it's still on Team 1 side of the map, but there's a ton of it on Team 2. They can easily fight back, but of course, there is a couple of chickens online. And Team 1's Red and Touch My Berries have done a very good job in forcing this western side down. The air grid is done and dusted. No more air here for Team 2. There's a couple of facilities over here. That's going to be gone. Bomber over the top getting some damage on this. It's just these. I have 3 sub-nukes. Again, 3 sub-nukes is great. The only issue is their limited range. They can only attack. I mean, they could probably get, what, up to here? They could probably take out maybe this. Calm, most likely, maybe. Well, there's Touch My Berries up here. Red's right there. They could get a calm kill. So it's possible, but Again, the longer this game goes on, I think Team 1 has it. And if Team 2 could get some snipes, that would be the end of it. And another bomber hover bombing over here. Gonna get some nice damage. Already 3-star veterancy. Chickens are falling though, but the air grid is down. Team 3 air headquarters is still online somehow after all the everything that's happened. The only player that's been relatively fine this entire game is Zum. Zum going for just a bunch of Colossi still. Was going for a Paragon. Stopped doing that. Might go for it later. I don't know. But, I mean, there's a lot of reclaim. You could just power for that, but there's, of course, more chickens resupplying their old dead compatriots. Nukes not going for it. Looks like just a lot of Zuri running around. Kill, says Mr. Tick. Mr. Zamitic. But looks like Team 2's Yoji killed off by Touch My Berry's chickens. He was in the water there and just kind of popped in. More of Dimitri's Colossi coming in the range. Hollow Submarine control case. He sees the writing on the wall. He's dead. So it's now going from a 3v5 to a 3v3 tied up game. 51 minutes on the clock. Hover bombing still going on here for Team 1's Dimitri's Albasaw bomber. Oh, nope, not going to drop. The Colossus will stave off that incursion from the chickens. Oh, well, of course. Oh, nope, Colossus still fine. This was a great game. Well played. Yeah, I will echo Mega Meon. It was really good. I thought Team 2 had it. And then Team 1 came back. Looks like Team 2's Psycho Ad was killed off by Dimitri. More nukes outbound here. They're going after the comms. Are there SMDs to cover them? There is one right here. Is it going to be? Yep, it is in range. Unfortunately, that would have been a snipe, but the comms are moving. Com probably would have gotten out of range anyways. Second one, and then the third one would be shot down. So it was close. It was very, very close. Definitely good use of nukes. But, I mean, again, the YOLO nuke definitely is questionable, but it did do a lot because it damaged a lot of the Colossus defending and allowed for Team 1 to engage and do everything that happened over here. So was it the best move? Probably not, but was it really effective? Yeah, it was. And the Colossus is going to barrel down Zum's base over here, and I think I'm going to speed it up just to 2 because we know what's going to happen. There's no hope for Team 2. They still have 2 comms remaining. Mr. Zamitic, I mean, he could have gone for Telemazer, but he did. Honestly, even though his team lost, I think he is the most underrated player of the game. That one monkey just on that western side killed off, a base and a half plus a comm. Really, really good move. Really, really good move. That Paragon was not going to finish. One experimental was seen. It was a YOLO, but it was not enough, unfortunately. The Paragon wasn't enough. Yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. Zum control Ks. They were actually going after him as we speak. And Mr. Zamitic is the last remaining player here on Team 2. Will he teleport out of there? Will he pop out of the water? It looks like he... I don't know what's going on over there, but pings do go down. I think Team 1 has spotted him. They notice something's down there. Mr. Zamitic starts teleporting. A little too late to start teleporting, my friend. Little too late. He control Ks, I think, everything. And then he's just going to be killed by torp bombers. I'm just speed this up. 12 chickens online. Hey, that's a lot of chickens. There he goes. Team 2, Zamitic is the last remaining player, and he goes out with a bang. That is the game, folks, at 54 minutes, 38 seconds. Team 1 wins the game with 3 players remaining. MVPs for Team 1. I mean, all of them remaining. I mean, they lost half of their player base by like 25 minutes. So the fact that they had all the subcom brand to deal with, they had all the things going on. They were facing 2 more additional players than they were. Team 2 had the bigger eco for a long time. And it wasn't until later in the game that Team 1 actually was getting more eco per second. And you can even see Team 2 accrued still more mass than Team 1. But in terms of the total mass in units killed, Team 1 killed almost more than 1 million mass than Team 2. 5 million mass was killed. versus 9 and a little bit million mass was accrued. So a little over half was killed off. Well, yeah, a little over half was killed off. That was the game. If I had to pick an MVP, I guess it would have to be Dimitri. Again, I questioned the YOLO, but then, of course, the Colossus came in and the chickens came in, cleared the way, and then the other group of chickens Colossus came in and just mowed everything down. I think the one call he could have done was come in with the ASF a little bit sooner and clean off the Corsairs running around his Colossus, but still did all the damage. Even if he didn't take the nuke out, still devastating amounts of damage. But I think Dimitri, I think he gets the MVP just barely. The orange players in the West did a very good defense and pushing in on the Western side as well. I just think once this push happened in the East, it was essentially the game, and it was just mop-up operations. But let me know, again, how you felt about the match in general or specific or whatever. Please, if you haven't done so already, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And share this video with anyone, everyone, and especially your pets. And I will see all of you in the next one.